This is section 10, letter E. There are 5 dreams in this segment that begins with the letter E. There are 2 dreams about an earthquake, 1 dream about the Empire State Building, 1 escaping dream, and 1 dream about an expressway. The first number in this segment is the number 1. This piece is called section 10, 1 escaping an American city dream, or S10 1 ESACD. In the month of July 31st, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. I dreamt that I was observing a mentally or emotionally disturbed man, black man, who was holding a cat in his lap. As he cut the cat head off, I think he was preparing to eat the animal. This person wore a thin, long sleeve, grayish jacket. I could not see his face because he held his face towards the cat he held in his lap. This disturbed person beheaded the animal outside while he sat upon a thin garbage can. It was daytime and the mentally ill man sat alone. Then the next thing that took place inside my dream was now I found myself in a building with different kind of people from different parts of town. I saw mostly black people and 1 Puerto Rican young woman who reminded me of a Puerto Rican female co-worker I worked with some times ago. This woman was somewhat out of her mind. She kept telling me she loved me and that it will be her last chance to kiss me. She held me and slowly kissed me. I could not stop her from kissing me because my mind was not really on her, but my mind was on the room I was in, and why there were so many people who were strangers to one another crammed up in this apartment building. After the Puerto Rican girl kissed me, I then looked down at her hands and I spotted her left hand was gone. It looked as though her left hand was smashed off. There were no blood leaking from her left wrist. Next, I turned to my right because I heard someone say something. It was an elderly looking white man who was wearing a gray suit or a gray raincoat. He was still speaking at me, but I could not understand him because it appeared that he might have been talking to himself, or he might have been thinking out loud to himself. I could not sense what was really going on or what had just happened that brought everyone here inside this building that looked once lived in by an apartment owner. Then my attention fell upon a black couple. There was a tall, heavy-set black man who wore a pair of dark glasses, and he was with his heavy-set, short black wife or girlfriend. I also believe the black man and the black woman had a little kid with them. They were all in good spirits and they were all speaking to each other. The black woman wore a long dark colored dress that had flowers on them, and her hair was black and curly. The black man was moving a plastic large container that contained food and clothing, I believe. The lady had 2 or 3 plastic cartons stacked up on each other. The cartons were see-throughs. I spotted boxes of food in the containers. They were saying that they were going nowhere since they had just brought all these things. Now I felt that the other people and I was inside the black couple apartment. It also felt as if this apartment was high up, maybe on the top floor of this building. Then someone said, "We better go." The black man with the glasses walked towards a window or a skylight that was in the ceiling, and he looked up into the skylight. I also looked up into the skylight with him, and we both seen a very long arm-like string of white smoke that almost looked like a cloud. And I have a drawing of what we seen in the skylight. It looked like this. Okay, this is the skylight, and this was what we seen. It was like a long whisk of smoke, and it was very long, looked like a cloud. And somebody mentioned that, you know, we better go, and I guess the person that said that has seen this through the skylight. So the black guy and I, we also seen this through the skylight that was in the ceiling. The black man and his girlfriend immediately left their apartment. The last things I witnessed inside this dream was now the black man and his girlfriend, possibly a kid with them, were now out of the city, and they were in a kind of woods. They were stationed high in a tree. They could have been in Prospect Park here in Brooklyn. Okay, like I said, with the kid with them, they were now out of the city, and they were in a kind of woods. They were stationed high in a tree. I believe this tree was around a long fence where they use towels to wrap around the fence before them to attempt to patch up empty spaces around them. I also believe they had only brought one of the plastic containers that contained food, and they left the other containers that had food and, you know, clothing, and the other 2 or 3 containers that were in the apartment. Lastly, I witnessed white men who looked like hillbillies. They were up in age. They was pretty old. One of them was yelling at the other to quickly come out of the wooden home they were staying in, because the house was starting to collapse. Then I woke up. The next number in this piece is the number 2. This piece is called Section 10, One Empire State Building Dream, or S10-1 EMSD. In the month of August 21st, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I had a light dream. I dreamt that I was outside in Manhattan, New York. It was somewhat gray out. I stood between 2 tall buildings. The building to my left, which I could not really see how tall it was, but it was taller than me, of course. Then I spotted a tall white man in front of the building to my left. I was unable to see his face, but I did notice he had white, long hair. Then I seen then I believe I seen a person try to climb the wall of that building. Somebody was trying to climb the wall of that building. Then I quickly turned around, and I was facing now the Empire State Building. And I squatted down, and I playfully attempted to lift up the Empire State Building. And then I said to myself, wow, I could lift up the Empire State Building. And this was the first time in my dream that I believe I actually touched the Empire State Building. And there's more to this dream, which I will speak about in Parrish Future Prophecy, letter E. Okay, and I have a drawing of the Empire State Building with me at the base of the Empire State Building. Let's see here. This is me. And I was trying to, you know, lift the Empire State Building, you know, jokingly saying I could lift the Empire State Building. And I think more or less the dream is telling me that Empire State Building is going to be involved with some type of earthquake. that will take place in broad daylight. The next number in this piece is the number 3. This piece is called Section 10, One Earthquake Dream / Obama / White House Protester Dream. Okay, in this dream I dreamt that I was here inside my room at Halsey Street, and I seen cracks in the ceiling of this room, and then I noticed that I stepped outside of this house, and I stood on the top stoop of my home up here at Halsey Street, and it was like daytime out, and I noticed that the top stoop of my house was more or less like cracked in pieces. Then I noticed next door to this house, the stoop of this next door house was more or less nearly destroyed, and I seen a white man with a hand cart going to the house next door, and he had like cinder blocks in this hand truck, and I felt like a light earthquake just took place here in Brooklyn, New York. Then after that, I seen Obama walking around on some grass. He was with his wife, and he stopped walking around. He sat down in some type of beach chair, and the green lawn that he walking around in and eventually sat in was mushy. And then the last thing I seen was protesters protesting outside of the White House. They were very upset. It was like kind of like a lot of protesters. They were protesting against President Obama for whatever particular reason. Okay, the next number in this segment is the number 4. This segment is called Section 10, One Expressway Dream, or S10 1 EXSWD. In the month of January 20th, 2011, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I had a light dream. I dreamt that I seen someone who looked like me, or they might have been me. This person was waiting for a woman who looked like someone I know. It was kind of hard to definitely identify this particular woman that I knew, because she was more or less far off in the distance, and she was talking to this was a black female. She was talking to some guy, and I noticed in the distance were like mountains and trees. It could have been Bears Mountain I was located in, and I noticed that there was an RV or a very long Jeep behind me. Anyhow, the person that looked like this familiar female that I know eventually came to me after she started speaking to the people, because I called her to come to me. So anyhow, she comes to me, and we go inside the van, then we go onto some expressway. And there was a lot of people on this expressway trying to flee out from some particular area. And then the next thing I noticed about this dream is that I was out of the RV, and I was going up some steps, and there was like a token booth where you know when you pay to go into another area to enter into another state. So I noticed, like I said, I did not have my RV with me, and I walked with a lot of people, and I noticed there were cops in a dark uniform, and then we were going up towards some steps and coming down some steps, and it was daytime. It was very nice out, and I noticed that at the bottom of the step there was a black man giving out flyers that stated that people should vote for this black female judge. And then lastly, the last thing I noticed about this dream was now I was somewhere, it felt like I was in the Clinton Hill section, Brooklyn, New York, around Fort Greene, and I was in this apartment with two elderly black women, and the lady that looked familiar with me, that came with me to the RV, she was not with me. I was more or less alone. And so anyhow, I'm in this apartment on the second floor around Clinton Hill, and the two elderly black women, I'd never seen them before, but it felt like some type of Section 8 place, something that being, you know, like a city-run apartment building, like some type of tenement. Anyhow, so I go inside the bathroom of this apartment, and I sat on the rim of the tub, and I noticed in this dream I was very despondent. I was very not happy. I was very more or less angry. I guess I was angry because my female friend I knew was not with me, and there was so many other things going on, and you know, this dream was very like upsetting, and you know, all these dreams I'm having about future events is very bad. Okay, the next and last number in this segment is the number 5. The segment is called Section 10. 2 Earthquake Dream, or S10-1ETHQD. In the month of January 24th, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I had a light dream, and I noticed that I stood over a road, and this road had two this road that I see, I had like mountains in the background, and I was at the edge of the road, and I looked down and I seen people look like it was camping out. And then after me noticed I was on the edge of this road, and I looked down and I seen people, and in the distance was a lot of trees. The next thing about this dream, I noticed that I heard someone mention about the San Andreas fault line had cracked, and the next thing I seen was low-level homes that was like in a valley. They would look like bungalows. It was like still daytime, and I noticed that I seen a man jumping on people's roofs of this first floor sets of bungalow homes, and I kind of sensed I was in California. And this white man that was jumping on people a roof somewhere out there in California eventually jumped off the roof and came inside someone's apartment, and he didn't know the people that was inside the apartment. It was a white man and a white woman and a white lady. And anyhow, before I left this particular dream, I noticed that I was on a road, and I seen very young black military men, and they were going to a jeep to retrieve long black rifles. And like I said, before I left this dream, I knew I was out somewhere out there in California, and then a voice behind me told me that California was having a major earthquake, like I said, the San Andreas fault line. And then I woke up from this dream. Okay, the next letter in Parrish Future Prophecy 5 is the letter F.